Class methods. There are two modifiers for class methods in Apex, public or protected. Return type is mandatory for method, and if method is not returning anything, then we must mention void as the return type. Additionally, body is also required for method. And we do have the syntax. Now a little addition on explanation of the syntax. Those parameters mentioned in the square brackets are optional. However, the following components are essential. Number one, the return data type, and number two, the method name. Access modifiers for class methods. Using access modifiers, we can specify access level for the class methods. For example, public method will be accessible from anywhere in the class and outside of the class. Private method will be accessible only within the class. Global will be accessible by all the Apex classes and can be exposed as web service method accessible by other Apex classes. So we have the example, and this method has return type as integer and takes no parameter. In looking at the second one, we see that a method can have parameters as shown in the second example. Class constructors. A constructor is a code that is invoked when an object is created from the class blueprint. It has the same name as the class name. We do not need to define the constructor for every class, as by default a no argument constructor gets called. Constructors are useful for initialization of variables or when a process is to be done at the time of class initialization. For example, we would like to assign values to certain integer variables as 0 when the class gets called. Looking at the example, you can call the method of a class via constructor as well. This may be useful when programming Apex for visual force controllers, for instance. When a class object is created, then the constructor is called as shown. Overloading constructors. Constructors can be overloaded, that is, a class can have more than one constructor defined with different parameters. Looking at the example, we can execute this class as we have executed it in previous examples.